Hey y'all, this is Dina. Welcome to my channel. I am back with a fun project tonight. This is bringing back the unicorn fabric. I got a whole bunch of it still. So I figure I'm going to add in pencil pouches again to my craft fair. So yeah, let me just show you how I did this. The supplies you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of the outer fabric, and they measure 5 in height by 10.5 width. 2 pieces of interfacing, 5 in height, 10.5 width. And this is just like a really thin, looks almost like paper. It's like a Pellon. You can get it just in your fabric section. It kind of folds, but it kind of gives it a little bit of weight on your pouch. And then you're gonna need 2 pieces for your lining. You're also gonna need 2 2x2 squares, and you're gonna iron it in half, open it back up, and then fold it toward the center and iron it, and then iron it again just like that, where it's, so I don't know, let's see, that's about I don't know, 1/2 inch. Then you're gonna need a zipper, and my zipper was too long, so I have cut it down and I've trimmed off the end where the scraggly part of the zipper is, and you can kind of see how this one was. I've cut that part off to make it even. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your little fabric that you have prepared, and you're going to lay it over the end of your zipper. Then you're going to take a pin, and you're going to just kind of put the pin where it holds it in place. Now there's this little metal thing that's right here. You don't want to cover that. And if you did, make sure that it covers it all the way, because you don't want your machine to land on that. It will break your needle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one to my sewing machine really fast, and I'm going to sew straight down the edge, and then I'll show you how we'll do the other side. Okay. So now I'm going to put this underneath my machine. I have put my zipper foot on here, which you don't have to use a zipper foot, but you can if you find it helpful. I do find it helpful. I'm going to put it right down. I'm going to sew this at about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to use my down feature. I'm going to go ahead and pull the needle out. I'm going to hold it in place. Go slow, y'all. Making sure you're grabbing the zipper and your pieces without hitting that little metal thing on the zipper. No need to backstitch. You're going to trim it off. And this is how it's going to look. So you see here? There we go. This is what it looks like. Now I'm going to take this, trim this off. Trim off the other side, just like that. Isn't that pretty, y'all? Makes your zipper look so nice. Now we're gonna do the other side. So we're gonna do the same technique, except I want to, now that I've got this, I wanna make sure that my zipper is going to fit now that I've added that piece of fabric. We don't want it to overhang. So I feel like I'm gonna need to trim it off some on this side. So let me get that trimmed. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of hold it where I want it, where it's gonna need to be up in here, because you're gonna want it to be in about 1/8 of an inch. And if you use a regular 9-inch zipper, you won't have to trim as much like I am, but I did not have a 9-inch zipper. So I'm just gonna bring this all the way down. Don't go off the end, y'all. We don't have a stop on there. But I just want to make sure that I've got my zipper just perfectly the way I want it and the way I actually need it. So I think I'm gonna need to trim off my zipper just a little bit. Just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this under my sewing machine, And so a couple little stitches just right there to hold this one in place. So this is how we're gonna do it, y'all. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this, put it underneath my machine, and I'm just gonna put it together and sew a little stitch up in there. Let me sew this and I'll show you guys what it looks like. This helps to keep your zipper together. You don't need to do any back stitching or anything. You're just doing this just to kind of be able to hold this in place. Okay, so it's gonna be just like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure it over it again, over my piece of interfacing here, and it's gonna be right up in there just like that. So now I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna put this all the way up to the end, and I'm gonna hold it just like that, and I'm gonna sew that one on. So if you can do this without pinning, go for it. I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna use my down feature. I want this right up to the end because then I think it's gonna be just the right size. I think I'm gonna change my stitch length to a little longer. Using my down feature. Keeping that zipper pushed together, just like that. And there we go. When I first started to try, and I'm trimming this off. When I first started to try sewing a zipper, boy, I was intimidated. I did not want to do it, y'all. I just like, oh, I can't do it, you know? And then one day, I just tried, watched a few tutorials on YouTube, and that's how I learned. So anyway, here's our zipper now. So now our zipper is gonna fit. Oh, I think that's just wonderful. It fits right up inside, just leaves a little bit on each end. And I think that that's gonna work just well. Okay, let me show you how we need to get this started. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need to do is you are going to put your inner facing down on your mat or your table or wherever you're sewing. And then you're going to take your pretty fabric, your outside fabric, and you're gonna line it up right there on your on the edge. Line them up. Okay. Then you're gonna take your zipper teeth side down and put it right up in here. Then you're going to take your inner facing pretty sides down, just like that. Like that. Let me grab my clips, y'all. This is when, if you have wonder clips, this is when they really come in handy. Let me just show you, if you're not familiar, these are wonder clips. So you're going to get this all lined up, make sure it's all nice and even. Make sure you get it good and even, y'all. Put your clips to hold everything in place, and let's clip it all the way down. I don't know if I told you, but I've sold these pencil pouches 2 years in a row. They sell well, y'all. And I sold these all for, I believe I sold them for $9 a piece. And they sold. Okay, I just want to make sure I get this really, really straight straight. That's why I'm clipping it really well. Getting toward the end. Right over here. Okay, now I'm going to take this and put it under my machine, and I'm going to sew a stitch right along the edge. So here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take my zipper foot, and I think I'm going to move it to the other side, because if you don't have a zipper foot, I've never seen it, this is what it looks like. So you can put the edge of your thing right here on either side. So I think I need to move it to this side. So let me just make sure. Just like that. Okay, then I'm going to put this underneath. And as I move my clips, I'm holding this in place. Don't sew over the, do not sew over the zipper. You're going to go along the edge of the zipper. It's really harder because you just kind of got to feel your way. Still got my everything in line. Use my down feature so nothing moves on me. And I'm making sure that I'm keeping this good and aligned. Gotta make sure I get it back up here really good. Sometimes I have to struggle with it too. Even though I've sewed many a zippers, you still have to sew carefully. Now I'm gonna back stitch right here because I need to pull my zipper pull down. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna pull the zipper pull. That way you'll be able to pass next to the zipper. And we're going to finish down to the end. Putting this back down. I'm gonna use my down feature again. And there you go. If your fabric moves a little bit, trim it. Don't stress over it. Mine moved just a little bit, but I am not going to worry about it. I will not stress over it. I will just trim it, and it will be just fine. Okay, so now, whenever we flip it inside out, here we go. We got our zipper just like this. Let me show y'all. That's one side of our zipper already nicely in place, and as you see, my fabric moved a little bit, but I will not stress over it. I will just iron it down really well, and I will just trim it. See y'all? I don't do everything all wonderful. I make mistakes, and I just own it and go on. So there we go. I'm gonna take my little iron, and I'm gonna iron this down because I wanna make sure that this is nice and flat. Okay, I've ironed it. And now I'm going to put this underneath my machine again. Let me get this up here. And I'm going to iron this down. And I think really fast where my fabric moved a little bit, I'm going to take it and I'm just going to trim it a little bit. You could do it after if you want. But see, mine moved a little bit. Don't worry about it, y'all. It's the lining. So I'm trimming it off. If my other one moves, I'll do the same thing. It'll work out just fine. So there we go. So all I'll do is I'll just kind of give it a little tug and it will be just fine. So let me get this sewed down really fast. I'm going to sew a seam right across here just to hold this down. That's my biggest, hardest part, is making sure my stuff doesn't move. And let me get this thread underneath. And I'm going past my little zipper pull. That's why I kind of pushed over. Just like this. There's people out there that would give up if their fabric moved just a tad and say, forget it, I'm not going to do it. Don't do that. Just keep going. And what I'm doing is holding my zipper and kind of pulling the fabric away from it. That way it's nice and flat. And there we go. And that made it look so nice, y'all. Let me show you. See that? Look. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to work on the other side. And then the rest is easy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. So let me tell you how to line your fabric up when you're sewing it onto the other side of your zipper. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your interfacing. You're going to put your pretty fabric. Let's make sure it's nice and even. If you want to iron it down, go for it. And then you're going to take your piece that you've already sewed, line it up, put it down here. Then you're going to face down, put your lining fabric. I'm going to put this under my machine and sew this one on just like I did the other one, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, y'all, so here I go. I have sewed all the pieces together, and here's the seam that I sewed. When I open it back up, here's the bottom. This is the top. So you can see it's gonna go just like this. Now I'm gonna iron this one down, and I'm gonna sew that same seam going all the way down, holding my zipper in place and holding the fabric away from the zipper. Okay, so now I've got it ironed. I ironed it away from the zipper on both sides. You can see that's the way it looks. I'm gonna put it underneath here, and I'm gonna sew the seam just like I did the other one with the other side. I'm gonna use my down feature. So right along the edge, kind of pulling it apart. I am by far not the perfect person sewing zippers, but I don't give up. I will not give up. Keep that pulled away. Just like that. And there we go. Do you see how nice and flat that looks? It's looking pretty good. Even though my under fabric shifted a little bit, I'm okay with that. It's fine. Okay, so let me put my other zipper foot back on. So here I go. Put this up so I'm ready to go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is where my fabric shifted a little bit over here, I'm going to square it up, you know, just kind of just make it look nicer. So I'm just going to trim it, and I think I'll do it this way. I'm just going to trim off this a little bit where it shifted. So it's just like this. Let me get these strings off. Y'all, the zipper went in there pretty good. Not bad for not doing this for quite a while. So now what I'm going to do is you're going to be taking the interfacing and the outside fabric, and you're going to pull those together, and you're going to pull this together just like this. Then you're going to start sewing a seam, leaving about 2 inches at the bottom Sewing all the way around, carefully over the edge of the zipper, all the way around back until you get over here to this end. Make sure you, before you do that, you open up your zipper, because if you have it closed, your project is ruined. You won't be able to get into your pouch. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make sure that I've got everything. When I ironed it, it kind of stuck down. But I just want to make sure that everything is looking good. Just like this. And just kind of make sure it's lined up. Make sure your zipper is good. I'm going to use my clips and line this up. I like to just start with the sides and then work my way in. Don't worry about it, y'all. It's going to be good. So it's going to be just like this. So I'm going to hold it like this. Now on these sides, make sure when you're sewing, and this is going to be the inside of your bag because this is the lining, make sure that you have your zipper where it the teeth kind of go down instead of up. So I want to make sure that my teeth, the zipper teeth are going down. I hope that that makes sense. And I'm going to pin this area because I don't want nothing to move there. I want it to be very careful. The top one I think is, there's that bent pin again, y'all. I know you guys are thinking, oh, is she gonna get this together? I am, I promise. Make sure that zipper has gone down. You're gonna pin these in place. If it's over a little bit, it's because that's where I didn't trim it completely flush. It's okay, it's inside. I'm gonna pin this one. Like this, and then the bottom. It's really good to pin these. You really need to not skip the pinning process because this is where things could really move, and you could fix the other one where it shifted a little bit, but you don't want this to. Now it's looking like this. Now, like I said, we're going to leave a 2-inch gap in the bottom, so all the way around, stopping over here, leaving that gap so we can turn our bag. Okay, let me show you how I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to start down here in the bottom. Hold your fabric in place. I'm going to use my down feature. Get that pin pulled out. Start sewing. Back stitch. Hold everything in place very carefully. You get to the corner, just kind of turn, take your next pin out, there we go. This is where my fabric had shifted, so I'm not worrying about that, y'all. Just sew as straight as you can, carefully over this zipper that's right here. Go carefully, just like that. Okay, now we're on to the other part. Sewing it all the way down. Gonna slide straight across. Gonna get that one up, just go over just a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna make sure Everything is lined up the best I can. Okay, this is where we're coming back to that zipper, y'all. Be careful on the zipper. Carefully there. Okay, gonna pull this pin out. Go straight down. Last little bit. Go ahead and take my pin out. Remember, don't sew it closed. Leave your two or so inch opening. Back stitch. And there we go. I'm not worried about too much of the threads because they'll be inside. So y'all, on the corners, don't go across the seam, but kind of miter the corners a little bit. Don't cut that seam. That way it cuts down on bulk. Do the same thing on this end and this end, just like that. So now, let's see what it's looking like. We're going to give this one a tug. Let me see if I can reach in there and get that zipper opened. So you can reach up in there and you can open your zipper. I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to pull it through the hole that I have left. Here comes those. Here it comes. Once you get this all done, you sew up the edge, give your bag a nice press. I press everything when I sew. Poke out your corners. Poke out the edge where your zipper is sewed in. I'm going to do this side as well. And there we go. So there we go. I want to make sure I've got these poked out. Just like that. Now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put the raw edges inside and seal this closed. Turn it around. I'm always going to poke it in there and then hold it flat. You can hand stitch this if you want, but y'all, just like my tote the other day. Or my tote that I did day before yesterday. Y'all, it's inside. It's not going to matter. And there we go. I'm going to trim this thread right there. And look. Okay, I'm going to give it a quick press, show you the end result. Okay, y'all, so here is the finished product. Look at that. Turned out really good. Will fit all your pens and pencils. It will fit scissors. It will fit any kind of craft supply. Just whatever you want to do, it will fit in there. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. But yeah, super cute. I hope that you like this project. Don't be afraid of those zippers. Just try and try again. Eventually you'll get it, and I'm still not doing it perfect, but I'm not going to give up. Anyway, so then I wanted to also add in 2 shout outs tonight, because I didn't do one on my last one. Y'all, let me just tell you, the tote bag video that I did, oh my goodness, y'all. I didn't really know how many people would want to watch it, and I really think that I have a lot of people that watched it, and thank you so much. You know, but I had people that were making comments on it, and I was just really, really so proud that people were actually liking it. And thank you so much. In the past, I've done sewing videos, and I didn't get very many people watching it. And this time, I really think it did really well. So it's continuing to do well. I hope that you guys will all try your tote bags. Pull out those sewing machines, y'all. And if you don't have a sewing machine, I know Walmart has some for $75. Yeah, get yourself a sewing machine, and the projects that you could make, the things that you could sew is just endless. So anyway, I'm not gonna keep rattling on, but I did have many people make comments, and I printed off 2 of them. I thought I thought they were pretty cute. Every one of them was real sweet. But anyway, this one is from Victoria Diot, and I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong. But she wrote, "This is beautiful. I wasn't going to watch, thinking I didn't need another tote bag. But my goodness, that is just so precious. I don't know how I can pass it up. Thanks once again for your inspiration." Well, thanks so much, Victoria, for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you are whipping out a tote bag as we speak. So thank you so much. This one printed out huge, y'all. This one's from Lori Little. She's in Canada. She's written me before, and she's just precious. But anyway, she wrote, "Hi, Dina. Who cares how long your video is? The finished product is time well invested. I would not change your teaching style at all. I have learned heaps and heaps from you, and I actually use my machine now. I love your projects. Cute, cute, cute. Have a great day. And as always, hugs from Canada, Lori." Lori, I haven't heard from you in a while, but it's so great to hear from you, and thank you so much. And I'm glad you pulled out your sewing machine. Anyway, y'all, I am going to end this right now, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.